If you'd ask me which board games do I feel are essential, I would answer these, or rather, specifically those 10 board games that we will place right here in these spots in just a few minutes time. As always, we're gonna show you how these games are played, but this time we have some certain criteria. First of all of these board games are widely available, no Kickstarter, crowdfunding thingies. Second of all, I love these board games and I have had massive successes showing these games to other players. Third of all, if you're getting into this hobby or are already board gaming veteran, all of these are for you. Obviously, there isn't a single board game that is meant for everyone, but at least these you should definitely try. And on that note, let's figure out what is the essential Euro game that I think you should try. Board gaming hobby is full of great resource management games, so I actually was really torn between these two games. And to your surprise, I'm picking Endeavor Deep Sea. Endeavor Deep Sea is a medium weight game for 1 to 4 players, and it's relatively quick, just an hour. In this game you explore the oceans, revealing new tiles in order to, well, preserve it and most importantly, get some freaking victory points. In this game you will be playing a team of researchers that will try to improve their knowledge as well as their resources in order to do better at the ocean researching thing over here. To start the game you will pick one of these sheets and depending on them you will have different missions right here that will give you victory points. For example, let's save some turtles, alright? And in order to do that, you will take your little discs, place on your team members, and then, well, save those turtles. Again, here's a turtle, place a disc, feel good about yourself. Why this is my essential board game? Because, well, you get all the good things from a Euro game. You get to create your team, you get to explore the world, and fight for those victory points. And all of that in just an hour, and it doesn't even feel like an hour. It passes by so quickly that you're ready to jump back in. It's even light, I would say. And talking about light, well, the next game is all about lightness and simpleness and goodness. Okay? Every board game collection needs a light game, a game that you can pull out almost at any time and have a good time. And talking about time, let's take some time to talk about Take Time, which is light game for 2 to 4 players and, well, is really quick. This is the simplest brain burner that I have played. Why? Well, let's talk about it. This is a cooperative game where you try to solve a clock. All players will have cards in their hand, but nobody else can see them. And on your turn, you just have to take one card and place it anywhere around the clock. But the trick is that each clock, and there are many of them, have some specific rules. First of which is that all piles have to be in ascending order. For example, it's 1, 4, and 7 right here. All good. And then each clock will have these icons that will say that here the sum must be 6. There are as many rules and tricks to this game as there are clocks, which is many. But it's a really quick, light 10-minute board game. Almost lost the clock. You have to place all your cards and play the game without talking, which makes these challenges a lot tougher. I love it because it is as simple as just taking one card and placing it down. It's all you do on your turn. But once you cannot figure out a clock, that's where the fun begins, because at that point you start discussing what went wrong. And I love that part so much, as a team going into this and saying, we can do it, let's go! Just as let's go to our medium board game. So in the medium category, I might have gone a bit heavier than I should have, but it's a freaking good game. I'm gonna go with Dune Imperium, which is a 1 to 4 player board game. Well, it's medium plus, I'd say, and it's hour and a half, somewhere there. Welcome to Dune with all its conflicts and intrigues. In the game, you will be playing one of the houses in the Dune universe, and you will be using your cards to send your little agents to different spaces on Dune. And you will do that because through some conflicts and some intrigues, you will be able to get victory points. And in order to get these points, your agents will be able to gather some troops to win your conflicts, get some intrigue cards, as well as, most importantly, gather the assistance of other houses, which again will give you victory points. And there's also a little bit of deck building, meaning you will get new cards as the game goes on. And it's a highly interactive and mean board game based on conflicts where you will kill yours and your opponent's troops. For our channel, this has for years already been a must-have board game. It's fantastic, you should definitely try it out. Let's move on to the heavy category. And from these heavy hitters, I think Spirit Island is for most people. So this board game is for 1 to 4 players, it's very heavy and takes around 2 hours to play, it depends on the players. This is one of the most satisfying board games in my collection, yet it's super heavy. In this board game you will be playing one of the spirits, and there's lots of those spirits, and these spirits have just one aim, to protect the island. Because these little fellas are climbing out of their ships and building big houses that pollute your land and destroy you. And to save your home, you will be playing out cards, which will let you kill those pesky invaders. Whoa, get away! The problem is that all these cards ask a lot of energy from you. And in order to play these super cool big cards, you'll have to first upgrade yourself and get that much energy. And while you are doing just that and getting better, these invaders just keep on coming again, again, and again. So you have to get better, but also manage the island all the time. And it's a cooperative board game where you can help other players deal with these pesky invaders. And the base game has zero luck. It's all about players' skills, and well, Mr. Saivis died really quickly and lost us the game. So that tells you something, all right? Anyways, we really love it here. It's a fantastic board game that's heavy, yet definitely you should try it. So let's move on to the legacy/story board game. I had fun with this one. One of the most amazing board gaming genres, the story/legacy games, and the most accessible, the most essential, we feel like, is Pandemic Legacy. And it's so accessible because it's quite quick, usually around just an hour, it can be played up to 4 players, and it's not that heavy at all. It's your time to save the world from diseases or spies, or well, depends on which version you pick. In Pandemic Legacy, you will be playing some heroes that have their own objectives. In this game, you as a team will travel through the world and try to figure out how to fulfill your objective. And mostly it is a card game. You use the cards in your hand to travel, to trade, or do whatever actions you need to get things done. But since it's a legacy game, you will have some top secret stuff, and you will be able to open some boxes or other things based on how successful you are during the game. This game involves a lot of planning because to trade cards you have to be in the same city, or to fly to a certain thing you have to have the right card. And well, it's a really tough one, like, to win. Rules-wise, quite simple, yet lots of things to do. And what makes it tougher for the players is that these bad guys keep gathering together, keep escalating things and destroying the world before our very eyes. From all the legacy board games I can think of, this is the most accessible. Most people really like the Pandemic series, so give it a go. Just like you should give it a go to our social game of the essentialist thingy. I had no clue where I'm going with this. So for the social category, we considered games that ask you to interact with other players, talk with them, and experience something that you haven't experienced before. And I think Feed the Kraken is the right fit for you. Because you can play it from 5 to 11 players, and it's medium weight. Also, it's done really quickly. You, mister, are responsible for steering the ship to the shore and not to be eaten by the Kraken. At the beginning of the game, you will pull out your role. For example, you're a sailor. Which means you want the ship to steer to sailor's victory. Choo-choo! But be careful, because other players will steer towards the pirate victory, or even worse, in the mouth of the Kraken. And it doesn't matter how many players are playing, only 3 people will decide where the ship is steering. So give these to the player who you really trust, which is no one. Once the roles are given, all players can agree that yes, this is the best team to do the job, or mutiny against it. Piff puff. So you pick the right team for the job, shoot them, cut their tongues out, and then choose the destination where you're going. And after all of that, move the ship 1 space. And do that again. And there's other trickery, like the cultist might make you change your alliances. All players close their eyes and put their hands in the middle, and then the cultist will slightly touch someone. And now you're mine. Social deduction games are stressful. Always the bad guys feels bad and stressed. Yet in this game, there's a lot of game mechanisms where to hide behind. Yet also, it's really thrilling and great social deduction game. And, well, just an experience in general. Just as a great experience is gonna be this next party game. Even though this category has great board games, we did not overthink this. We picked just one. This is a great board game for 3 to 7 players, is light and quite quick. This has not failed us once. So let's talk about it. This is a cooperative word guessing board game that feels like those old TV shows. One player will be the guesser who will not see the word, but all other players will. Then all other players will write down a hint in secret. Once everyone is done, you compare the hints, and if there are similar ones, you erase those and only show the guesser the ones that are left. Either the player guesses and you get that card as a point, or he doesn't get and you don't get that as a point. Very simple. This game works wonders with almost any board gaming group. You have grown-ups, kids, anyone can play just one. The next game though, only 2 players can play. This category has a tough competition, but for me on the top would be Duel for Middle Earth. It's a light and quick board game, which is a great combination for a great 2-player board game, because all you do on your turn is just check out this pyramid of cards and pick one. That's it, your turn is over. You will be playing either the bad guys or the good guys, trying to destroy the ring or catch it, or create a military dominance, or get enough friends to have a good time. And yes, on your turn you just pick one card and place it in front of you. These cards will make other cards cheaper, give you some friends, or move forward the chase for the ring. Or lastly, will move armies around in order to defeat the enemy. Why it's an essential 2-player board game? Because, well, it's so light, yet the decisions, the interaction between players is brilliant. Something you should definitely experience, just like you should experience the next category, which is deck building board game. So why are we singling out the deck building genre? Well, first of all, it's a freaking great genre. Second of all, it's one of our favorites. And third of all, I think every player should have at least one deck building board game in their collection. And for us, the most accessible from all of these and most fun is Star Wars, the deck building board game. Which is, well, for 2 players only, except if you get some expansions, which makes it playable with more players, but it's still light and super quick. In this game, you play out cards to destroy the other player. That's all you want. Destroy. In this game, you either will be playing the Empire or the Rebel team. And there's just a single task: destroy the enemy bases. You will have cards in your hand and you will have to play all of them. Some cards will let you shoot the other player, some cards will give you money in order to buy new cards, and some cards will give you force. And the flow of the game is what sells it to me. How quickly you can play all of these cards, deal damage or buy something, and you're done. Pick up 5 new cards. Go. You definitely should have deck building in your collection, and if you want the most accessible one and still the most fun one, we'd suggest Star Wars, the deck building board game. And lastly, let's talk about the best solo game for this top category, which is essential. Sometimes you're like me and are left all alone. But don't worry, you can still have fun by playing the best solo board games. And even though all of these are great, my favorite one by far is Legacy of You, which I feel like is super essential because it's a resource management game for one player that's quite heavy, medium/heavy, and takes up to an hour. But it's one of the most satisfying games because it's like clockwork, and I'll explain to you why. Alright, my friend? In this board game, you will have to build a canal before the wave catches you. You will be playing a person responsible for building that canal, but to your disposal there are some workers, so it shouldn't be that difficult. On your turn, you will be playing out cards to gather resources, or you could destroy the card to get more resources. You will be able to use these resources to build houses, which will give you more resources in the future. Or open up new worker spaces to get more resources now. And you need all these resources to, well, build the canal, or else, well, you know what happens, right? While you can gather more workers to help your cause, you will also have to take care of enemies, and that's an expensive endeavor. And while you're busy building, from time to time, you will find these story paragraphs when you will open the book, which will give you very unique components that, again, you will have to take care of. And if I can only use one word to explain this game to you, it's clockwork. So Legacy of You rounds out the top 10 most essential board games that you should own list. Here you go, these board games I love, and I think you definitely should try to figure out if they are for you. To have more behind the scenes and my thinking process about all these board games, check out our other channel, Board Game More, where I'm gonna explain why, alright? Why these and not others. See you there.